Goodness gracious, am I finally live? Am I finally live? Hello. Everybody's filing in. That's good news. Sorry, I'm late today, but was trying to set up a Zoom call instead of just doing the live stream through YouTube on my phone. I wanted to do the Zoom call on my phone. As we may or may not have a special guest today. But we'll see. We'll see how things go. But if nothing else, I'm going to enjoy an adult beverage and I'm going to smoke a pipe. So I'm going to call that a win-win, regardless of what happens this evening. Let me get my chat going, you guys. We'll see. Is my voice all garbled? Where'd we go? What happened? Zoom. You guys can hear me? Well, isn't that a heck of a thing? What happened? Zoom. You guys can hear me? Well, I wonder what happened to my video. Stand by, you guys. We'll figure it out. Well, isn't that a heck of a thing? What happened? Now, you guys can hear me? Well, I wonder what happened to my video. Stand by, you guys. We'll figure it out. Not a heck of a thing. What happened? Now. Now, what would have caused my video to go off? I just can't imagine. Guys, I tell you what, this phone thing is for the birds, so I think I might have to restart using my laptop. I had a feeling the phone thing was going to cause us problems, but I didn't have time beforehand today to test it. So bear with me. I'm going to get this set up on my laptop. I may have to, well, let me try to join on my laptop so I don't have to stop the live stream. Can I not join my own meeting? Join a meeting. Stand by if you can hear me. Whoa, that is so much worse than it normally is on my phone. So grainy. We'll just roll with that. Oh, but now I got to set back up my comments. It sounds better. Well, I imagine I was having a heck of a time with my phone tonight. Zoom on phone, I'm not super friends with. It seems to work well on laptops, but not so much on phones. That's been my experience anyway. Where'd my Zoom go? There we are. Well, guys, sorry for all the trouble this evening. I missed everybody filing in, so I have no idea how many folks let's see, we got 48 folks on at the moment, according to my side. You can hear and see me and in sync. That's great. Now, I'm not blurring my pic intentionally. And this is all the lighting I have right now, so I think we're just going to have to make the most of it. Now, where'd my phone go? There we go. Over a pipe, I appreciate that, sir. Let's see, do I have a message from our potential guests this evening. So it is 5:20 here. Someone asked about that. And typically I get started at 5, so my bad, you guys. I was late and then I had technical difficulties. Now, let me see. I may have someone waiting in my lobby because I was going to have somebody on the Zoom call with me today. Sasquatch Piper 2. See if you can try again. Let me know if it works. If not, then we'll just have a regular old live stream. But I was hoping to have Sasquatch on here with me. And I would like to start doing more of those. I mentioned that last week. I got a couple of people email me that they might be interested, but we'll see. Got to sync up everybody's schedules. Blurred because of the required speed. Sasquatch, if you join, I should get a notification that you're waiting in the lobby, unless it just allows you to join. Did it give you an an error message, Sasquatch? Are we just out of luck? Oh, I grabbed a 9mm for a 6mm pipe. That's not going to work. Wish it would, but it don't. Texas Piper, hi back. I don't know about the fastest shipper, but I try. Oh, you got one of those Emerald Cobs. I've only sold a couple of those since I put them back on the site, since they've been back in stock. I'm surprised more of those haven't sold because I was sold out of them for so long. Well, man, I wish I could pull you into the Zoom call, Sasquatch, but I know there's you either have to do it on a computer or you have to have the app installed on your phone. The ID number is in the email I sent you, or at least it should be. I would post it here, but then we'd have folks potentially trying to join the Zoom call. And I really wanted it to be a one-on-one conversation while we try to keep track of chat. If we can't get Sasquatch on here with us, I may just open it up to everybody. We'll see. Maybe we can have our own little version of Virtual Pipe Club. That might be something fun to do in the future anyway. Maybe not tonight, but it'd be cool to have everybody Brady Bunch style in here. Mike from Briar Blues, thank you for your tech support service. But yeah, it should be a. I don't think I have it passworded. It's just the ID that I emailed you. Let me make sure. I'll take a look at my email. Oh, yeah, there it is. Yeah, I don't think I have it passworded. Bill, you're not late. We're late. we're still trying to get things up and running. Oh, Hobbiton, that'd be cool. Of course, then if I sell out of them quickly, I may be sold out for quite some time again. Seems to be how Missouri Meerschaum's been lately. Well, of course, everybody's having production and inventory issues. I don't want to pick on them, but I've waited longer for the Series 3s from Savinelli, and I'm still sold out of those. So. What are my thoughts on the Rattray's fire pipes? I love them. You talking about the Beltane's fire pipes? Love them. Jesse, it looks like you just sent me a meeting invite. I don't think that's going to work because I'm already live on YouTube here on this meeting invite. Yep, those Beltane's fire pipes. I keep mine here at the ready. It's in my rotation ever since I got it back in, well, I can't even remember, last February, I think. Has not left my desktop here. This is the brown version of the Beltane's fire, and I tend to keep the red stem on it, but I've got the other two stems here, the black one and the yellow one, at the ready. Love this pipe. As a matter of fact, I was going to smoke this 320 Trevi, but now you got me thinking about that Beltane's fire. So here we go. We're going to move to the Beltane's fire. Welsh Piper, I have several Miele pipes left because I haven't listed them on the site yet. So if you're interested in a particular one, you can email me and we can do an invoice because I'm really not sure at what point I'm going to get those on the site. I'm really backed up on orders now with that 8-state Burley hitting on yesterday. And I really want to I'm going to start carrying the camouflage pipes as well. I have those in stock. I just haven't had time to build them out on the site. So nice problem to have, but I really need to get these things on the site. Daniel, they asked me to approve your comment there, but yeah, that'd be cool. Daniel, I didn't know that you had a channel. Man, are you making videos? Did that slip under my radar? Cliff's in the house. Cliff Higgins. How's it going, Higgy baby? All right. We're just going to keep rolling the best we can. And if Sasquatch is able to join anytime during the live stream, we'll switch gears and go to more of a conversation type live stream. But I don't want to keep holding things up. We're at the 30, well, should have been the 30-minute mark. I started late, so. Storage. All right, I'm gonna load up. Let's see what we got. I hate to be a one-trick pony, but I think I might do some more Haunted Bookshop. I haven't had any Haunted Bookshop this week, man. Today. I haven't had any Haunted Bookshop today. I've had my share of Haunted Bookshop this week, but earlier I had some Peterson's Royal Yacht. I've had some of the Savinelli's 145th anniversary. So I think this is my third bowl. And we'll go with Haunted Bookshop. Abe, the 8-State Burley. I sold out of what I had on hand this morning. So about a day. It took me about 24 hours to sell out, which those small batches are always kind of a luck of the draw thing. You try to anticipate, if you send an email out, how much interest there's going to be, because you don't want to get stuck with like 100 tins you can't sell. That takes you years and years to get through. But at the same time, you know, I mean, you want to have enough for people who are interested. But I think one day, just for me to sell out in one day, I didn't get enough this time around. I'm checking to see if there's any more available, but I may be out of luck at this point. We'll see. And Mike at Briar Blues, I want to thank you for the recommendation for the company to go with for matches. I placed an order for matches this week. It's going to be probably 2 months out before I get the matches in stock. They've got to get manufactured and printed. But the layout's been proofed and the wheels are in motion. So hopefully I'll be able to put some matchboxes in my orders here in the, 2 months out. But I'll have plenty. Oh, excuse me. Don't mean to shove my face in your face. Um, Daniel, I think I approved the message, so it's there in chat if anybody's interested in that Zoom call. Um, yeah, Mike. I I couldn't believe how many different kinds of matchboxes they had, you know, and how many choices there were. I overfilled this pipe. But yeah, if that was left up to my wife, there were so many decisions there. She's not a very good decision maker. I think her head would have exploded because you got to pick the size of the box. It's not going to be this size. These are kitchen matches. The size of the box, how many matches, what color match tips, what the layout is going to be, what color inks. Um, how long do you want the matches to be? How many matches do you want in the box? I think I said that one. Anyway, it was a lot. Oh, that's cool, Cliff. Yeah, I had a lot of fun with John that night when we did that. I think we did 2 live streams, but that first one was basically like this. We couldn't get much going, and then it finally worked out. I don't understand the Sonic Bookshop acting like this, blooming the way it is. Hmm. There we go. Maybe it'll settle down now and behave. Well, that's a bummer, Sasquatch. Maybe we can try again in the future. We'll definitely do a post-mortem, you and I. We can talk about maybe what happened and figure out how to move forward for the next time. Briar Blue says, Eddie, start the Zoom first, then open the live. No, I started the Zoom first and then the live. But Sasquatch hadn't joined yet, but that shouldn't be an issue. I would imagine there are some of you guys out there who have Zoom available right now. I wonder if I should just throw the invite number in the comments. What do you guys think? And get some folks in here. Then we'll all be talking over each other. Kind of like what happens sometimes on the Virtual Pipe Club. But yeah, Mike, I'm using the Zoom Pro version. I bought it thinking I would use it a lot more than I have. But I definitely wanted to use it for our October live stream when we were all thinking of matches this last October without him. Well, here we go. Let's see. This may be the first and last time we try this, but we'll see what we get with this as far as people jumping on. Zoom meeting link is in the chat with the ID number. Please make sure if you're going to sign in, you have your clothes on. That's all I ask. And then I'll have to change. I'll have to create a new link invite for whatever I do in the future. Which is fine, you can do multiples. All right, Mike says it shows waiting to be left in, and I have 2 people entered the waiting room. Let's take a look. Oh, I got Mike and I got Daniel, so let's get Mike in here first, and then Daniel, you'll be next. So don't leave.
There we go.
There. It's working.
It's working.
All right, good deal.
So
I think Sasquatch was having trouble with his phone, maybe.
yeah, I'm using a PC, so it's much easier.
Yeah, well, that's what happened with me. I started this thing on my cell phone. I have an iPhone, and it just did not want to work right. It started working, and then, yeah, things just kind of went south. So that could have been part of the problem as well. But now I'm on my Mac. Works fine.
Yeah. So I'll jump out, watch in the chat, and you can let others in.
All right. Well, I mean, stick around. Feel free. But if you want to jump out, that's fine.
No worries. If you let others in, that's cool. If you get too many, I'll pop out.
All right. Sounds good. So what was the first person? I lost him. Where'd he go? Daniel, I don't see you in the waiting room anymore, but we're gonna.
It popped me out and then it came back in.
Okay. We're gonna put Albright up in here.
Hello.
There we go.
Hey, John.
There we go.
Now, he's on a phone, so Jesse, I don't know what the problem is.
Let me see if I can do a gallery view. There we go.
It's working.
Yeah, I'm just admitting one person at a time because I want to make sure people have their YouTube turned off, their volume turned off and all that. So we don't have to hunt down where the echoes are coming from.
You can also set it that their mic is automatically turned off until they come in and turn it on.
Yeah, let's see what my settings are right now.
Like you set the auto join or whatever, and you can set it for their mic is not engaged until they're in and they engage it themselves.
What are you drinking, Mike?
Raspberry cranberry juice.
Ooh. I was drinking cherry juice yesterday.
My girlfriend bought a bunch of what she thought was pure cranberry juice during her COVID. When she got it home, she looked at it and she drank it. She doesn't like sweet things, and these are over the top sweet. So they ended up at my house.
I've had that happen. You'd think you're getting the right juice and it's a stinking cocktail one. You're like, give me a break.
Exactly.
All right, I've got one more person in the waiting room. Let me try to admit a fourth. We might be bricked up here on our view. There we go. So, John, I got an invite from you the other day, right?
Mhm.
Was that the first one you've sent me? Because it's the first one I recall getting.
Well, I sent you one that day, but I've sent them each Tuesday.
Okay. I don't know if maybe they were going to my junk mail folder. I tried to clear out some of that this week. I had some stuff funneling into junk mail that shouldn't have been.
Yeah, typically people will get it in the normal inbox, but I've had a couple of times where they said they just don't get the invitation for some reason, where it just for some reason doesn't go through.
Yeah.
They don't know if it's a Google Meet issue from time to time, but I haven't had any issues other than apparently yours for like the last 3 weeks, 2 weeks. Maybe this will be the week we get everything all worked out across the board.
Well, you know, hope springs eternal. Mark, I think Mark might be muted both with his video and his voice.
How you doing, gentlemen? Can you hear me?
You gotta
Yeah.
turn on your
Hear
video.
you.
I just need to get my video working here.
And
So
put
I'm Doc the Elder on your other items, but how you doing, gents?
Oh, nice, cool.
Okay, let me just figure out my little camera here going on.
Are you using your phone?
Nope, using a laptop with Windows.
Eddie, you're the only one that can see the YouTube text, unless you've got a second monitor or the others. So for instance, I can't see the chat box at all right now.
Yeah, I've kind of got a double window thing going so I can see the chat. And Sasquatch, no problem at all, man. Things happen. The best laid plans and all that. But we'll try to get you on some other time. Justin, you have a good evening, sir.
It's great to smoke with you regardless, Sasquatch.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, and I got Daniel Leslie in here. Now, I've never seen Daniel Leslie, but he's been in my chat on my live streams quite a bit. Let's see.
Always good to get faces to names.
That's the only way I can remember him 100% of the time.
How are you?
Hey, all right. There we go.
Can
Daniel.
you
Good, how
guys
you
see me?
doing?
Good. So, I guess I'm just the only one here.
No, we've got, let's see, there's 5 of us in here now.
Oh, okay. Okay. I see you guys. Okay. So, no, listen, on Friday, on Monday, I'm going to be doing my first Zoom chat ever on my mobile. I just want to see how it's going to work out. I want to give back to the YTPC for all the help they've given me. Just I don't know if I can muster up enough people to join, but if any of you guys could help me, that'd be great.
Well, 2 is enough, but maybe you can get more than that going.
Mondays
well,
are bad evenings. Monday, Tuesday are bad.
because I'd like to see, I'm trying to build my subscriber base. I don't know if everyone noticed, but I checked earlier and I got 51 subscribers, and I was hoping to see if I can get the 100 mark over between now and my birthday in July the 29th. So I just don't know what the best way to do it is. I'm not that good at making videos. So I just figured that maybe a Zoom chat would help get me a little bit known out there in the community a bit more.
Content. Zooms, live streams, whatever you can do.
Yep. If you can manage, just like you're doing right now, that's no different than doing the video.
No, it's just for some reason on video, it just seems that like the video is shuttered a bit or the alterations are off a bit, and it just seems like it doesn't. I feel like talking to a black screen sometimes, whereas if I'm talking to people I don't stutter my words as much. Whereas if I talk to like
Mm.
a black screen, it's like, well, what do I say next? Or I don't look like an idiot when I'm talking. So it's just, I'm sure everyone's experienced that when you're talking to a black screen, it's like, well, what do you say next? So
Oh, yeah.
it's, whereas it's easier interacting with people. I'm just an interaction
Sure.
type of person, I guess. So,
Oh yeah, no problem.
so
But I went
especially,
to college
especially,
with a guy. Oh, I'm sorry.
especially when Captain Mike is in the house and
No.
he's always there to give advice. And I'll tell you something, this is no blowing smoke. If it wasn't for Eddie and for Mike, I probably wouldn't even be a YTPC member because of all the help they've given me over the last almost 2 years with building pipes, learning pipes, packing, lighting, etc. And I'm still learning as I go every day. But I just want to thank you guys both, and I just wish there was more I could do for the community. But being a young single guy with obligations, it's just kind of like sometimes I feel like I just want to give more, but I can't. So please accept my apologies on that part, but I'll always be here to support you guys in any way I can.
You're doing fine. Just write yourself up a cheat sheet, or if you get an idea, write it down and then expand on the idea. That way, if you write it down, it'll stay in your mind. And when you're doing your talk, it comes natural because you've written it down.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. My friend Aaron, I am Alpha M. Hey, Mark.
Mark.
He's got over 8 million subscribers.
Wow.
He writes a journal and every morning, and all his ideas he writes down in the journal. And then when he's back in his office, he expands those out. And he puts out at least 6 videos a week.
Wow.
Did you say 8 million subscribers?
Over 8 million.
Wow.
Wow. He's not a pipe guy.
No.
He's a serious influencer.
Yeah, I hear that. You're definitely not going to get anywhere near those subs doing pipe videos.
Like one of the questions that I've always had, just without kind of like how to learn to express it, is take a basic pipe that I've had that say like a GBD basic pipe that I got when I was first starting, them to now my Radice. I've seen so much of a light and day difference between the two. I want to do a video and explain the pros and cons to both of them. It's just hard to find the words to put into like the pipe terminologies to put in, like draft hole, drilling, what size, what millimeters, how they smoke, how they don't, they've been cool, hot, etc. Just kind of like from my own personal view as a newer pipe smoker, I wanted to kind of make a video on that. It's just I don't want to stumble all over my words. Whereas if I had somebody to interact with like this, I could bounce ideas off of you on what you think. Like, am I onto something there where a basic where I find that the Radice, it smokes say brighter than what my GBD will, or is it all in my head, so to speak? It's just kind of like, because I do notice there's something there. I just can't figure out what word it is to put it there,
Well,
so to speak.
If you want to have a good laugh, Daniel, go back to my first videos because they are just so bad. Tongue-tied, stumbling. Yeah, we all started the same way.
And
So
and
you
nobody
just start
will
and
hold it
it
against
works.
you. Nobody
sorry,
will hold
Ed?
it against you.
Okay. Okay.
You know, I saw Mike's. I know what he's talking about, and I was the same way too. And really, once you get like, I wanted to show you this is what my basic outline was. The first one I just did 4 points. My intro, so I figured that out, and then that became, hey, I'm all briared up, and then what the video was about. So I'd say this is just to introduce myself, the tobacco I'm smoking, and then whatever closing. If you can get like that kind of a simplified outline, I use that for all my videos now, and I've gotten used to those after the first 10 videos or so, where now I just fill in the gaps. I automatically know what I'm going to do, and then I just wing the rest as I go, and it's less stressful.
Same as I have a lot of sample tobaccos that I've purchased over the last year and a half, like an ounce of this, an ounce of that. Some I like, some I don't. And I just want to give back to the Y2PC community and figured that instead of me holding on to them, I'd send them out. It's just I don't have a channel to go through to send them out to people that I appreciate that wants to give advice. So I didn't know if there was somewhere where, yeah, like does a YTPC have an area where I could say, okay, listen, tonight at say 6 o'clock, I'm going to give these away or whatever to people, or if that's more like a live, or am I stuck with those 1 ounce samples? I got like 10 of them. I just don't know what to do with them. There's something I don't like anymore, so I just figured that if somebody wanted them, they could use them.
If you're
You
going to
can
do a
simply
live,
post a video, even if you wanted, like you're talking about, write down what you want to say. You could say, I have an ounce of this kind, an ounce of this kind. And then if you're interested in any of them, please leave a comment. And that's a
Yeah.
video right there.
Yeah, see, like I got an ounce and a half of Virginia from Low Country, Virginia. I still got to have over an ounce left that I purchased, not realizing I wasn't going to like Virginia. I've tried it a second time, still don't like it, and figured, well, who can use it? So then I figured, well, I don't want to sell it on Kijiji. I'd rather give it away to somebody in the community that can use it and smoke it. It's just finding the right channel to go to. I don't want to feel like I'm selling it. It's just, which I'm not. I'm giving it away. I just don't want somebody to not smoke it and give it away or throw it out, right?
well, do a GAW or a giveaway video.
Okay.
Eddie, talk.
Oh, what do I say?
It's your show.
Yeah, tune in, Eddie. Like, I want to hear from you too. I respect you as equal level as everyone here, but between you both, with I shouldn't say this, but with your gray hair and your knowledge, it's like I'm the youngin in the house. I figured, well, if I can learn from people, I could learn from you.
Gray hair.
Yeah,
Well,
Daniel, you and Eddie are the same age.
Okay.
He's blonde.
Okay.
I'm younger than both of you.
Not really. I'll be 38 coming in July, so I don't think anyone can touch that yet.
Oh, I do have some announcements. I heard these from Cliff Higgins today. So if they're wrong, you guys can blame him. But today is Stevie Nicks' birthday. She is 73 years old, which is unreal.
Yeah, it is.
And it would have been Levon Helm's birthday if he hadn't passed away. I'm not sure how old he would have been, but so God
Yeah,
bless you, Levon.
I have a question that's not pipe related. I just wanted to see, because I know he's an icon from the old music industry. What's everybody's thoughts on John Lennon?
Oh, you don't want me to talk about John Lennon. I'm not a Beatles fan myself, and I'll just have to leave it at that.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree with Eddie. For me, I'm not a big Beatles fan.
Okay. What about the Stones? Like, if you had to put the Stones up against the Beatles, would you say the Stones was better as a group overall?
I would say the Beatles were more original when they got started than the Stones were, but over time, I think the Stones surpassed them.
See,
Why is that, if I can ask? Like, what makes you think that the Stones, was it their way of like picking or singing, or was it like what set them differently than say the Beatles did back in their day?
The Stones started out with a lot of cover songs and, blues type stuff that, traditional songs. And if I recall, didn't the Beatles pretty much start with originals right out the gate?
I think so.
So,
yeah.
but yeah, I think over time, the Stones, I have more respect for the Stones as a band and as a songwriter, as an original songs machine, so to speak.
The Stones started off as basically a rocky blues band more than anything, playing a lot of old blues cover stuff.
Yeah. Which is kind of how Fleetwood Mac started, and then they expanded past that. But
I guess that's similar to the band Rhythm and Blues.
The band Rhythm and Blues?
Yeah.
I'm not familiar with Rhythm and Blues.
Apparently there's a band called Rhythm and Blues. I've never heard of them, but I just heard the cover titles, so I thought maybe they did blues music. So
I wouldn't be surprised. But yeah,
Mike, what's your top favorite, like, from the 21st century, like today, a young person, say between 18 and 30, what would you recommend if you were going to pick two artists for somebody to listen to in blues? Who's the two artists that you'd pick for a younger person today that wanted to get into listening to blues?
Albert King. and Muddy Waters.
Eddie, what would your choice be?
From any period?
Yeah, like say that somebody wanted to just start listening, say they wanted to switch over from country to blues.
Hmm.
Eddie's
What
more
would
a
you-
metal guy than
what
he
would-
is
what would
a
you-
blues guy.
Oh, I didn't know that.
No, but I do like me some blues. Albert King's a good pull, but I don't know. I'd have to go with Stevie Ray Vaughan, and Hendrix did some blues stuff, not really on his albums, but or at least not his released albums.
Jimmy started playing blues. That's where he started.
Gosh.
Eddie, have you seen-
I really like Jeff Healey, so I'll throw Jeff Healey out there.
Eddie, have you seen that video by Stevie Ray Vaughan playing Voodoo Chili, one of Jimi Hendrix numbers? Ooh, is he amazing?
Oh yeah, I've probably seen 10 or 12 versions of that.
Then there's that one where the Rolling Stones, an older one, Rolling Stones went into a Chicago nightclub after one of their shows and they played, jammed with Muddy Waters, and a lot of mutual respect there. Very cool.
There's a lot of great, I don't want to say younger, but newer discovered blues players that are pretty impressive. And one right in your own backyard, Daniel.
Oh yeah.
A guy named Jack DeKeyser.
Okay. What if somebody told me that Onion from the YTPC plays pretty good guitar. I've never seen his video, but I heard that, so I was gonna check it out one day. I just didn't know what channel to go to.
Johnny plays okay for a guy that's in the San Diego Blues Hall of Fame.
Oh, okay. There's my question answered then.
Go to YouTube and look up the Johnny Mannion Band.
Johnny Manning. Okay, I'll write that down.
Yeah, Onion is a serious blues player.
Wow.
And if you look up his cooking channel, his barbecue channel, he does an acoustic version of the Oreo Cookie Blues.
Okay. Barbecue
Yeah,
channel.
Onion
Okay.
can play.
So
he's a-
would you say that you're on? I guess you and him are on the same level then, or of playing abilities?
Only in my dreams.
Oh. What about you, Eddie? Are you on his level or?
No, I'm a meat and potatoes strummer myself.
Well, isn't that what all guitar players they strum? Meat and potatoes
Well,
strum their guitar and.
Yeah, I mean, I strum chords primarily. Lead has evaded me.
And so
Okay.
I'm just the opposite. I can't play chords to save my life.
Well, that's funny you say that. I've got a friend who has a metal guitar channel on YouTube, and he's he's phenomenal. Don't get me wrong, but when it comes to acoustic, he has a hard time with a fluid strumming motion.
Yeah, I just never, and my fingers they want to move in individual motions rather than as a group to make a chord.
When I was in
Eddie,
high school-
but if I'm not mistaken, can you not? Sorry, Eddie. Mike, can you not play open chord? If you like an open G chord, then you wouldn't have to. If I'm not mistaken, you wouldn't have to do as many chords if you're playing open G, right? Because isn't the purpose of open means that it's open that you can play anything?
No, open just means the guitar is tuned to an open chord. And standard tuning is one thing. If you retune the guitar to an open chord, like an E or a D or a G, whatever,
Mhm.
as soon as you start having to think about how you're going to create a normal chord, you have to rethink the whole thing, because standard tuning, say you're in open tuning of G, you want to do a D chord. You place your fingers one way. If it's in
Right.
standard tuning and you want to place a D chord, your fingers go in a completely different.
Oh, okay.
So
Okay.
learning to play standard tuning and all the open tunings it's
Okay.
like trying to learn how to write Chinese. There's that
Okay.
much thinking
Wow.
that goes on.
Okay.
Yeah.
See,
When
I
I
bought
was
it
in
cheap.
high
Like I said,
school-
I bought it cheap. I bought a cheap guitar and just messed around with it in Open G, and that's the only thing I know is like it's just to play like one tiny little thread, as I call it, and that's why I always wondered Open G. I thought it was a lot easier, so that's what I stuck with. But I'm learning as you go that it's not easy.
Open tunings are more difficult
Okay,
unless you're playing slide guitar.
okay.
And that's with the
Well, I
glass or
picked up
brass ring.
Hmm.
Then it's easier.
I picked up a $50 mahogany guitar from Sam Goody that was going out of business. So it was a $150 guitar for $50, but it was me and my high school buddy screwing around, and I was the same way. I couldn't read chords. I couldn't read the sheet music chord or any of that. So I drew the lines, and then I'd put dots where I wanted fingers to go. And then I kind of started to get it. He was really good at like replicating music that professionals had done. He could look at it and just sit there and just play it for 2 minutes and have a line done. And then I'm sitting there, I'm like, okay, now I gotta convert that to my lousy writing. But it was fun, we weren't in a band or anything like that, but we came close to a couple of times of actually going to a show to screw around, and then we just ran out of time before he moved away. But yeah,
Do you guys think
I had
it's
to
easier?
screw around.
Do you guys think it's easier to play by ear or by actually reading music and playing by the actual song, or listening to it and then playing it back?
I play by ear completely.
Yeah, that's where I'm at.
So you listen to a song and then play it as it's going along?
No, I listen to a song and I attempt to play along with it.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's right.
What about you, Eddie? Do you play by music or like by sheet, or do you play by ear?
I'm ashamed to say I rarely play guitar these days. One of my kids, even the other night, we were talking about my guitars, and one of my kids was like, "You quit playing guitar a long time ago." Because from her perspective, she's like 12 and 13 now, and I just don't play that much guitar in the past 5 years or so. But when I did, and hopefully I'll come back to it, yeah, I played by ear. I would look up chords online of songs that I wanted to try to learn how to play.
Hmm.
And yeah, I don't read sheet music. I took piano lessons and did the sheet music thing when I was a kid, 10 or 11 years old, and just it just wasn't. I didn't have any interest in that. So
See, me
Very
what I
similar.
find is my fingers hurt like a bugger after I play guitar for about half an hour. My fingers, my tips of my fingers are almost raw and bleeding a bit. I wish I could fix that problem. Then I'd be a bit more into it. But every time I play, I got to put it down after an hour and a half, and give it a
Mike
break for a bit.
lighter gauge strings will help with that.
He's got an acoustic.
Yeah, well, still, you can get what, the super lights or what?
Well, I was thinking of
Tens?
switching over. I was thinking of switching over to classical instead of acoustic, because I heard they have nylon strings
Yeah,
that don't hurt your fingers as much. But then somebody also said the sound is different on them,
it's
so
very,
it's kind of different to know what to stick with.
Yeah. And on a nylon string, you're going to be finger plucking as opposed to flat picking.
Oh,
And then converting from, depending on the kind of music you want to play, nylon strings.
well, don't hold it against me, but it'll be country music.
Okay, no. Nylon strings are not conducive to playing things like blues because they don't bend the same as metal strings.
Oh,
And they'll feel like they roll.
okay.
So if you want to eliminate the finger pain, get yourself an electric guitar and super light gauge strings.
Now, what about lighter on an acoustic? Like a lighter string on an acoustic, would that work?
Well, it might help. I don't know what's on your guitar, but what are light gauge for an acoustic? 10?
Yeah, I
like
think mine
10
are.
to
I
52.
think mine are 12.
12. Okay, just to give you an idea, that's what Stevie Ray used to play on his Strat.
Okay, is
Those
that a
are
good thing?
super
Or?
heavy gauge. I play
Oh.
7 to 38s,
Oh, okay.
which are uber light.
Okay. See, I just bought mine with whatever was on there, and I remember the person saying that there was 12 on there.
Yeah, so that'd be
Now-
like 12 to 52. Those are medium heavy gauge strings.
So I can get different, so I can get lighter ones and that would help me.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Or
Willie
get some
Nelson
plastic
figure
strings.
Is nylon.
Okay. Okay.
Make
Cool.
sure they don't sell you electric guitar strings because they don't work well on acoustics.
No.
Okay.
No. That's how you mute yourself.
All right,
Well,
Paul.
Mike,
you
in the
switch
back,
guitar,
Mike, in the
people are
background,
hip.
you've got a red guitar hanging in the background. That looks
Yes.
like an electric. That looks like an electric guitar.
That's correct.
So, if I'm not mistaken, that would have to be played only with an amp
Nope,
in order to get sound out of it. Like if you just strum it, you wouldn't get no sound.
that one you will.
You get, that's how mine was. You could still get, it was electric.
Oh, I thought an electric means you have to use an amp because that's why they call it electric.
It'll resonate. Michael,
Yeah, it'll be like a soft acoustic, but it's a lot more fun with an amp.
So sorry, what is the amp? What is the purpose of an actual amp? Like I've heard a pickup. Like I guess
These are
in a
the
lot.
pickups. This is a pickup and that's a pickup. So when this is
Right.
plugged in to the amp and the amp's turned on, the music or the sounds come through here.
Right, and then you've got
This
your
is-
turn dials that you can turn. You
Right.
can adjust the sound accordingly.
Volume,
Bass.
tone, and which pickup. Now,
Okay.
this is a semi-hollow body.
Okay.
So I don't even know if it's in tune. Can you hear that?
Yeah.
Ripper.
Now, if you had an amp plugged in, would you hear? Would it make any different sound?
Yeah, it would probably make the screen vibrate.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Okay. Cool.
That
No,
little black
I
box?
didn't know that's why. So.
You see that little black box back there, Daniel? Right there?
Oh yeah. In the back room.
Yeah, that's a Fender Pro 3. That's
Okay.
15 watt, very simple amp, but it will shake the foundation of my house. I have a
Wow.
cement foundation.
Wow.
But you see, Mike, I can shake the foundation with my one as well. Yeah. I'll play you a little song.
But like
I'll
this,
tell you how good
Daniel,
I am. I should be in the Hall of Fame.
these I used for about $300.
Wow.
$300. Is that a Squire?
About it.
Okay.
Well,
yeah.
what was your other black guitar? What was your other black guitar that you used to have, Mike? That was similar to that one?
Yeah, not even close to similar.
Oh.
That was a 120th anniversary Les Paul, American made. I just sold it 2 weeks ago.
No, but I mean, it looked the same. Like in the picture, it looked the same. Right now, would that play the same?
No, different pickups, solid body guitar, has to be played through an amp to get
Okay.
really any resonance. You can play it without, but
So then it's fair to say guitars are like pipes. There's no two the same.
you can go to a guitar store and look at 4 guitars, exact same maker, same body style, and all 4 will feel totally different.
Wow. Interesting.
Neck,
Interesting.
weight, the way the neck is, what it's made from, the fretboard, the body, it all makes a difference on the resonance, sustain, how it feels in your fingers. See, that's not an expensive guitar. And when I looking for a Fender guitar, I went through probably 20, 25 guitars, and that one had the neck that felt the best in my fingers. And that's what I was looking for, something that felt good to me.
Now, in your opinion, do you think that it's value for money, like what you pay for is what you get, or is it something like pipes? You can have a lower guitar that will pick good as a premium guitar, or is it a little opposite with guitars? You have to spend money to get something decent.
Everything that comes out of a guitar is from the player. Guys like
Mhm.
Buddy Guy, BB King, country guys, they could take a $50 guitar and make it like just
Sound
sing.
like a $1,200
And then
guitar.
you could put a $5,000 Paul Reed Smith in my hands, and it's going to sound like crap.
Mm.
Right? I mean, Santana could play a $50 guitar and it's going to blow your mind. It's all in the
Techniques.
the technique of the player.
So I guess it's like pipes. It's all in the technique of learning how to smoke the pipe properly.
Yeah, learn
Yeah,
how to
you can
play.
get a great Rossi that smokes just as good as a $200 Savinelli.
Or a $5,000 Costello.
Yeah, you still got to send me one of those, Mike.
As soon as I can afford one, you can get one too, John.
Okay, thank you.
Mike, what was that? Talk about pipes for a sec. I've seen on Smoking Pipes, they have a pipe. I've never seen it. It was called a microphone. It looks like a microphone. It looks like a microphone. Have you ever seen one or had one or heard one? Like, what's the details on that? It kind of looks funny.
It was a Dunhill. It's
Okay.
Dunhill does a lot of special series, like one-offs, or like they do their pipes of the year and their Christmas pipes and things like that. And it was just made for, maybe it was created for some radio
Musician?
personality or something. I don't know the story.
Like I thought maybe a musician would have ordered it and for their collection and then passed and then give it back to Smoking Pipes. So because it looked like a musician's pipe.
Could be. I mean, was it, what do I think of his name? Salvatore Amarelli made a saxophone pipe, which he gave to Bill Clinton because
Okay.
Clinton was a sax player.
Right,
And
right.
pipe makers do all kinds of
Wow.
one-off things like that.
Same as I see my first dual bowl pipe the other night online. I
Mhm.
was searching for pipes and they said there was a dual bowl. I thought it was a joke at first, but no, it actually turned out that it's a real serious dual zone pipe.
Sure.
It's like, whoa, it looked funny to see two heads on it.
Well, it's like you'll see those pipes with like the little soccer balls to commemorate an event. And I laugh because a lot of the times I like the pipes and I'm like, well, the soccer ball doesn't have any particular sentiment for me.
Well, if I'm not mistaken, didn't Seven Alley or was it Costello did a COVID pipe? Like a little design of a COVID or something?
Yeah, Costello last year did the virus pipe.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Costello also did a one-off piece after 9/11.
Oh,
And it was a giant pipe with the two towers made out of briar.
okay.
And that was it was donated, I believe, to the New York Pipe Show. And they sold it and all the money went to 9/11 relief.
Okay.
So,
Interesting.
yeah, there's all kinds of stuff like that out there.
Wow. It's interesting to see the artists and like just the work and the time it takes to put into making a pipe like that. It's kind of like it shows you really what kind of artists they are. I wish I had the time. I just wish I had the talent.
It relates to guitar playing or a lot of other things where
Mhm.
if the person involved is passionate about it, you can get more out of that piece of briar or that guitar than you could anything else.
Yep.
So what else is happening with Eddie Gray?
Yeah, Eddie's silent up there. Did,
He's
Am I-
hosting, watching us
am
take
I-
his channel over.
I'm talking too much for him too, so I'll button up for a bit. Will you take over, Eddie?
We have
Well, no,
announcements this week.
we're heading up to, we're bumping up against dinner time, so we'll be calling it here in a few minutes, but I can't do the 3-hour live streams like the artisan does.
Eddie, before you run, in the background, I've noticed you have some jars of tobacco over. Of course, it would be on my left side.
Yeah.
What are in those jars, if I can ask? I know you always have tins that you pop open during your lives, but what about the jar tobacco?
Let's see what we got here. I just randomly grabbed one.
And do you smoke them much, or do you is there a specific genre that you go for, or is it based on taste, or do you just I shouldn't say, but do you just close your eyes and say I'm gonna have this one tonight, or is there something that draws you to a specific tobacco?
Anybody know what that one is?
Looks like a stave from one of the barrel blends.
There we go. So that's Frogmorton Cellar right there from 2015.
What's that little wood thing? Is that wood?
What's
Yeah,
that?
it's a piece of the barrel that they age it in.
Yeah,
Oh, cool.
I think it was a whiskey barrel, right? That's what they
I think
use.
that's
Yeah, I
correct.
think so.
Plum pudding does that too, don't they? Didn't they offer a version that they put a starve in one of theirs in the plum pudding edition?
Here's
Right
some
there.
plum
Yeah,
pudding.
Bourbon barrel aged.
Bourbon barrel age. They
Okay.
do that with.
So yeah, I've just got different things out here that I mean to get to that these days I'm just trying to pick one of these off the shelf and put it over here with the stuff I'm smoking through. So right now I'm trying to get through some Stokkebye's Luxury Navy Flake from, what's that, 2014.
So you're mainly a Virginia guy, Eddie, or Virginia and Burley's?
I tend to go for anything that's got Perique in it or dark fired.
Mhm.
If you put both in, I'm all over that.
So
But,
you
you know,
you
I-
like Stockton's?
I haven't tried Stockton's. I think Sixpence has both. Trying to think what else. Maybe Bluegrass. I think Bluegrass has a little Perique in it as well. I'd have to look that up, but yeah,
Maybe-
I tend to go for Perique and dark fired blends. But then I'll also smoke a good bit of Virginias or Virginia Burley mixtures. I've really gotten into Burleys a lot more in the past year and a half or so.
What do you think of Burley Bite? Burley Bite with a Burley Delight without a bite. I believe that's the one I like. By Sutliff.
Burley Light without a bite. Yeah.
Thank you. That's what I like. And also, if I want to go something heavier, then I'll go with Quiet Nights. But usually I flip between those two. But what's your thoughts on that, Eddie? On the Burley Bite?
Burley is a Lane product, right?
Lane
Burley
and Sutliff too.
Yeah. So it's fine. But if I remember the Burley, the Mike's laughing at me. The Lane stuff, I've moved away from over time.
Well, seeing it, I got Mike laughing.
No, it's
Other than-
because
other
I know exactly what Eddie's thinking.
Okay, well, other
He's
than
got to be
okay,
okay,
so then let me ask you
because
this.
I've been there so many times.
Okay, so then other than a Scudo, Mike, what, do you have any other vapors that you smoke?
Oh yeah, didn't you see that? I guess you didn't see my box on Instagram.
No.
See that big packing box?
Yeah.
That's half full of all the stuff I got to clean out of that room before the renos. That's all full of Virginia and Virginia Perique blends. There's only about 30 tins of Escudo in there. The rest of it is all Virginia blends.
Stuff that you've smoked or that you're waiting to try?
Stuff that I've smoked and that I've bought. There's got to be 3 pounds of Samuel Gawith Navy. There's got to be full Virginia Flake back there.
What about stuff that you want to try that you haven't got to yet? Or are you the type that doesn't do that very often?
I've got 2 tins of Stockton back there, and as soon as I figured out what the ingredients are, they're just going to sit there until I find someone who wants to trade them for a Scudo.
But didn't you say, Mike, at one point, sorry, didn't you do a video once that you said that you were trying Burley blends?
Yeah, I did.
That you went on to, because I remember you made a video where you said that, you said something about you couldn't smoke them at the beginning, but then you went back to try them again.
I did. I
And
still
how'd that
can't
work?
smoke them.
Oh,
It's
okay.
I'll equate this to food.
Mhm.
I eat light meals. To
Okay.
me, a Burley is like a 22-ounce steak with a baked potato, 4 vegetables on the side. You have salad first, and then you follow it up with tiramisu.
So it's too heavy.
It's way too heavy for me.
Mm.
And dark
That's my
fired,
kind of meal if I leave out the dessert. I gotta watch the weight.
dark fired for me is just way too strong.
And what about your Latakia?
Very rarely.
Mhm.
Don't like the taste.
Now, has anyone
Daniel.
here had a full Perique blend, or is there such a thing as a full Perique blend?
I have smoked straight Perique.
And
I
what's
will
it?
never
is
do it again.
I have a
It can be
blend
very
here, Daniel.
unforgiving to you. If it's not something you really love, straight Perique can kind of overpower you. It's a
Okay.
lot to take.
Yeah.
And sometimes it isn't even with like the nicotine. Sometimes it can just be that when it burns, it feels like you're on fire because the spiciness. And if that's all you have in the blend, that's kind of all you're getting. It can kind of hit you like a wave sometimes.
Try something like this, Daniel.
What is that, Paul?
That's black twist, brown twist, and rustica.
Oh.
Wow.
If you make about 10 more pounds of that, you could send it to Everett.
Has anyone had Capstan? Is that nice?
Oh yeah.
Capstan, red,
You know the blue.
yellow, and blue. Yeah, I like them both.
Oh, cool.
This might be a controversial. This might be a controversial question, but maybe it's when you guys first started smoking pipes. But what is your thoughts on an aromatic or an aromatic cross blend for someone that wants maybe a little bit of a sweeter taste in a tobacco? Do you recommend them, or do you recommend not, or have you smoked them before? And is there a quality that you don't like about aromatics? I've heard a lot of people switch from aromatics over to non-aromatics, and I just don't understand. Like, maybe it's taste, but why do you switch over so fast? Is it because they burn hot, or is it just because you lose interest in the flavor, or you get sick of the flavor, or is it just what? Like, I'm just kind of curious what makes you flip over so fast to them, considering that they're a popular blend.
It took me a year or two of mostly smoking aromatics to kind of make the switch slowly to non-aromatics. To me, it just got to the point where an aromatic blend, you've got to make sure the base blend is a good, solid blend by itself for it to be what I would consider a good smoke. So that knocks about half the aromatics off the table for me.
Well, you're saying that aromatics aren't good blends?
They can hide a lot. They can hide a lot.
There are a lot of aromatics that are, like you're saying, like one of the better ones, like base blends in it was Cornell and Deal Mocha. This is a great example. Cornell and Deal Mocha has this awesome base tobacco flavor you get at first.
Mm-hmm.
And then you get just the tiniest amount of mocha that's really good. And then out of nowhere, there's this pretty chemical heavy vanilla that doesn't fit with the blend. So if they took out, the aromatic part of it and just kept the base blend, it'd be awesome. But most aromatics now, it's like they hide the tobacco. And I think a lot of people get to the point where they're deciding what they like and they go, okay, I want to taste more of this kind of tobacco. And a lot of aromatic, there's still a good amount of great aromatics. But a lot of people are sensitive to the chemical in them. For example, the mocha, for me, I like most of the taste. Like I said, the base tobacco on its own would be fantastic sold. But I was getting such a headache from the chemical that I was like, I'll never smoke it again. I smoked like 1/8 of a bowl and I will never smoke it again. And there are a lot of aromatics that just, I don't know, it feels almost like they're cookie cutters. They make like a base blend that's decent and then they put whatever on top of it thinking this is just, maybe they're not doing this, but it feels to me anymore like they're making a great base blend, putting it in each aromatic, and then just topping the heck out of them. And like I'm to the point now, like I started blending my own a couple weeks ago, and I made and I'll have to send you some, Eddie. I think you'll like it because you're talking about Old Dark Fired, but it was too much or too strong. I made a Dark Fired that had Perique, little bit of Turkish, little bit of Kendall, Kentucky stuff in it, but not very much. But it's like Old Dark Fired without that nicotine punch. It's the same kind of feeling, but it's got more flavor. And I'd say if you're trying to find a blend, like for you, Daniel, you're talking about trying to find a blend that has a little bit of sweetness that may not be an aromatic, but you want sweetness. There are lots of ways to solve that. Galwith and Hogarth make Bright Virginia. You can add, it's called just Kendall Gold. A little bit of that will go in very well in a blend to add sweetness. And then, I mean, you can always throw a little bit of like some kind of Cavendish, like Lane BCA is a very gentle Cavendish. Doesn't have a lot.
What about buying a cross? What about a cross blend though? Wouldn't a cross, if I'm not mistaken, wouldn't a cross aromatic give best of both worlds?
In theory, but I don't think very many achieve it.
Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna have to call it. I'm sure my she's not holding dinner on me, but it'll be cold if I wait too much longer.
It'll be in the dog.
So yeah, we'll shut her down. But this is fun, guys. We might do this again in the future.
Anytime you want to.
What I
Guys,
was
before-
trying to do this week was, me and Sasquatch were going to kick off like a two-man jam, so to speak, and we could keep up with comments, but it's hard to keep up with comments when you have 6 folks on screen. So I'll probably try to go back to that. Maybe not next week. We'll mix it in here and there, but I'll try to line up some guests and we can have some more one-on-one discussions.
Before I go, guys, if there's anything that you guys remember, Monday, if you guys can make it, obviously schedule permitting, but Monday at 7, I'm going to try my hardest to do my first Zoom, say 7 till 8ish, whatever, just have a chit chat like this and stuff. And if you guys can join, then write it down. If you can't, then no hard feelings, but just see if you guys can join me in on that. And I'll try to get my phone up and working for Zoom on my end and go from there. Maybe I'll send a link if it's all right, Mike, with you, not to put you on the spot, but if it's all right, I'd send you a link, and
Sure.
maybe because you've got other people, a lot of people in the community that you can say, hey, I'm doing this on Monday night. If you want to join in, that's great. If not, that's okay too. Even if we get 2 or 3 people,
Send me a link.
be from around 7 till 9ish, I'm thinking, or 7 till 8, whatever everybody's schedule works. I'm not gonna commit everyone to it, but until then, guys, I'll sign off. But just try to be there for Monday if you can, and we'll go from there.
Cool.
Thanks, Eddie,
Thank you,
from
Eddie, for
Dr.
doing
Elder.
this.
Thank you, Eddie.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
And,
everyone.
and thank you
you
very much,
very
Eddie,
much.
for your help and advice. And thanks, Mike. And
Oh,
I'll bar it up for all the advice and everything. And we'll talk soon.
All right.
Thanks,
we'll see
Eddie.
y'all next
It's been
time.
fun inviting
Thank
us.
you, Eddie.
Yeah. Thank you for running this, Eddie. Thanks everybody in the live, in the chat. Appreciate you guys. It's been great smoking with you.
All right. We'll
Have
see
a good
y'all.
dinner, Eddie.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Enjoy.
Take care. Bye-bye now.
Bye.